Hello ladies and gentlemen, as always I'm your host Airsoft Al. Welcome to another Media Reviews. This one is a PayPal sponsor review, one of 4 that I will try and methodically, more or less kind of space out, because if I go at them back to back to back to back, I'm going to burn out pretty quickly. So we're going to just space them out a little bit. This one is a G.I. Joe and Halo crossover. Now, I need to clarify on the G.I. Joe and which Halo we're talking about. The G.I. Joe we're talking about is, of course, the American hero G.I. Joe, and, of course, some of the comics. Now, the Halo we're looking at is more or less Halo 3, or at least the aftermath of Halo 3, where the Forged Dawn is split in half and is kind of drifting through space. So, no Halo 4. However, what I will say is that this is made by a guy called Freedom Guard, and this story is actually pretty good, and the setup is really good also. The idea is that Master Chief and Cortana are found on the G.I. Joe Earth. And from there is a little bit of kind of discovery. They are based in Alaska first, but then they go to Montana. Montana, I believe. And the cool part is that Chief's cover, there is an arc system here that I'd like to talk about. There is the first, which of course I'd like to call the Discovery arc, where Master Chief realizes what planet he's on, they try to find their place, Cortana is metastable, and not going to fall to rampancy. Chief's cover is more or less, he's trying to figure out what he wants to do in this world, and even fights Cobra. Not in his iconic Mark IV armor, no, he's fighting in ODST armor at first, and uses stun rounds, and even is now hunted by not only, of course, the Joes, but also Cobra and the world government, trying to understand who this person is, what their technology is, and try and get a hold of them. The second arc is where the main story actually does take place, Chief's cover and what he does to the world, what he offers to the world. Now, I won't say what his cover name is, because it is honestly kind of cool. What I will say, the company and the world he creates, or at least the town he creates, is Reach. He creates Reach, Montana as a town, and the headquarters for the Halsey Pharmaceuticals, named after Dr. Halsey and his adopted mother. While, yes, not technically wrong, to every Spartan they see Dr. Halsey as the mother, as that mother figure. And it's completely understandable, and I love it. But the pharmaceutical company that he creates not only, of course, is introducing flash cloning, but also other amazing breakthroughs in medicine. Cobra wants this, but the Joes, of course, the G.I. Joes, actually go, and the way that all this culminates into, the G.I. Joes actually go to the Halsey Pharmaceuticals to more or less be able to get Snake Eyes to talk again, get him new vocal cords, thanks to the flash cloning technology. While at the same time, the Baroness and the Cobra units are there to more or less get the technology that's there, and at the same time try and capture the Chief, which, as we all know, that ain't ever gonna happen. It's going to take a lot to take the Chief down, and very much so. It takes a brute to even try and halt him. I mean, hell, it takes anything to even take down a Spartan 3, let alone a Spartan 2. But I commend you on your attempts to take down a Spartan 2, if not the Spartan. But while they're there, the Cobra units do attack the town, and sadly there is casualties. But the best part about the Chief, though, is that all his security forces, all the police forces, are ex-military, because he respects the military. And I love that. And it makes sense. The Chief would employ ex-military because he is a military man, or at least he gives off that atmosphere of being a military man, and he wants organization. He wants to know that there is unit cohesion. So having ex-military as security forces and being able to have them armed with the weapons that they know and understand and have trained with also helps out. Even the police force are all ex-military. And when Cobra does attack, the Chief himself puts not himself, but everyone else above him. And that earns him some major respect from everyone. And even after the battle is over, even at the company picnic, he did everything he could. I mean, the aftermath of the battle is very heartbreaking and very much so endearing for the chief. Because everyone assumes that this guy basically is a rich kid, is basically, doesn't care about the little guy. But as they see him literally go to every single family of a fallen member of his company, literally giving them his condolences and even making sure that they're taken care of, that right there earns some major respect from everyone. Because as Sun Tzu said, if you treat your soldiers as your own beloved sons, they will follow you into the deepest depths of hell. Now, yes, that is a westernized version of it, but you understand what I'm saying. The chief treats these people as his own. And the fact that Cobra did this, he takes fucking personally. And even the Joes take personally, seeing how this guy reacts to his own people getting hurt and how much he wants to make sure that they're taken care of. Even the Joes want to get payback for them. Again, if you want to see how deep this goes, read this for yourself. It's really good. But the way it ends is Laura Croft being brought into this. And dear God, that opens up so much more, and it's so good. And the way the chapter ends, the way these 17 chapters end, is in of itself really good. And I can't recommend this enough. Like, seriously, go read this one for yourself. Link in the pinned comment down below to read this. And I'll tell you now, this is just one of 2 G.I. Joe X Halo stories that were requested and sponsored via PayPal. And if the other one, The Last Spartan, is anything to go by, this one is probably going to be good, if not as good as this one. And I'll be honest, if Johnny Boy 11 reads this and he himself takes on the mantle to try this out, I look forward to it because, again, it's a pretty good story. A lot of it is definitely close to the source material of the real American hero G.I. Joe. I enjoyed this, and being a early 90s, early 2000s kid, I watched a lot of the reruns of G.I. Joe on Cartoon Network, and even Boomerang. Hell, I own the entire series of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, and even gave that to my little brother to enjoy. And he loves G.I. Joe. But I'll admit, Sigma 6, the less we talk of that, the better. Well, not really the less we talk of it, just... that was kind of the only G.I. Joe anime we'll ever get, probably. And even then, that was something, alright. But I will say this, though. The story is good. It's very faithful to the G.I. Joe mythos, and it is... I'm looking forward to it. And even the romance options for the Chief from the Joes themselves, not gonna lie, really looking forward to it. But how could the author take the story going forward? Well, aside from obviously the arc that he's taking with Laura Croft, there is an option that could be done. With the attack on Reach, Montana, and basically still reeling from that, the Chief could implement his own military forces, or at least a type of paramilitary forces in Reach, Montana, as a better security force. And with Cortana and the systems themselves, they can basically breeze through all the paperwork and basically have the ATF not be on their backs at all. And with a counterterrorism unit, the Chief could then begin training them in the UNSC Marine etiquette. Now, granted, there's a lot that could be done with this option. Again, the Chief being ex-UNSC, he could slowly implement this sort of thing, and even slowly, if he wants to, introduce the Spartan program, and basically create Spartans, literally give an extra bit of protection for his people because he has come to care for the people of Reach, Montana. Again, there's a lot of ways that the author could go with this, be it introducing the UNSC, or at least introducing the UNSC military tactics, weapons, equipment, gear, what have you, or even creating Spartans. Working with the Joes as the Spartan from the 26th century, and introducing his history to them. Again, there's a lot of ways that this can go down, and there's a lot of ways that the author could go forward for either the better or for the worst. But what I'm going to say is that this is a really good story, and I'm not going to lie, I'm definitely looking forward to how the author continues it. But, till then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and next time on Media Reviews, we take a look at The Last Spartan, a G.I. Joe x Halo crossover. Primarily the first 10 chapters, because the thing is pretty long. Unless I really start enjoying it, then the first 20 chapters. But, till then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see you lovely people in the next video. And if you want to read this one for yourself, like I said, link in the pinned comment below. And if you want to join me and many other authors, there is a Discord you can join us in down below as well in the pinned comment. And if you want to help support the channel or even sponsor a review via PayPal, the PayPal link down there is below down there in the pinned comment also, because it's folks like you that actually help us do what we do here. And even it's folks like you that are able to sponsor these types of reviews. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see you in the next media review. Till next time.